Good morning, my healing friends. I was doing, I was doing a lot of healing in the dream world last night. It's, it was less tiring than it has been for the past couple weeks. I feel like I get up, wake up in the morning, and I can be, I have been somewhat drained from all the work that I've been doing. And a lot of this work wasn't this. A lot of the work was this. you know, Trying to figure out how to make everything work out, which really shows a lack of trust that everything is working out. And there is a lot of that vibration in the field right now. A lack of trust. A feeling like, something's not right and people are out to get me and, all that kind of energy. And if you notice when I speak about that, you might notice your neck kind of tightening up and for me, I get this look like I'm this head on top of this lifeless form. It's really trippy for me. It's kind of like seeing some other world that I'm participating in, but letting that world away, letting most worlds go, coming down to a place where I'm in one world the majority of the time, on my way to another world where I'll be living all the time. And the process I'm in right now is moving out of this energetic house and moving into this energetic house. And the process of getting from there to here is a process. There's a lot of baggage that we might be carrying along, thinking that we're going to be able to carry all this crap into the next reality, and you're not. I was going to say, I hate to tell you, but I'm going to actually say, I love to tell you. The reason that the new world is so perfect is there just isn't all that crap in it. All that polarization and all that, oh, you got all that stuff. Okay, so I have a dental appointment today, so I've got to get through the city of Ann Arbor. Not always easy. To the university district, which is even less easy, because in the university district there are just a bunch of semi-woke students who are just walking as if in a dream and walking in a way that they just trust that no one would run over them. So they're just like this, just a mass of humanity crossing a street. And I guess, most of them are probably successful in doing that. Okay. This is a gift from Arlen, my guide, to me and you. And this was the card I asked. I did a tarot reading and I asked Arlen to actually pick the card that would be the information that he would want to go forward, and this is the card that came up. The Moon card. It's the 18th, 18 of Trumps. It's related to the astrological sign of Pisces. We're coming from Pisces into Aquarius. And Pisces was all about beliefs, dreams, the subconscious, spirituality, and collectives. And is about kind of the constructs of those things. And we're moving from there to Aquarius, which is the realization of the experience of those things that the constructs in the fourth dimension had us desiring, but in the fifth dimension, it'll just be our experience. This is what is coming through. The number 9 is about observation, just really staying a little bit apart and watching things work out without putting your intensity, just like back out of that, and watch things unfold, and do it from the heart when you can, and do it with love and compassion and curiosity. And probably the compassion and curiosity are more important in the observer position. To just observe things and say, isn't that interesting? Isn't what that person's saying interesting? And let go of our attachment to them saying the right thing. And the right thing is what we would be saying. And if you're not saying what we would be saying, then you're wrong. Like, back away from it. Just back away. Just backing up. Ah, I see that you're right about everything. How does that feel for you? Okay. So number 9 is about observation, about personal responsibility, about collective growth, expansion, and clarity. I'll just say this again. I love you, Meg. You're a wonderful human being. I hope someday you'll watch one of my videos utilizing your book, Finding the Fool. The Fool is it's one of the Major Arcana, or Trump cards. And it's my personality card in this lifetime, and then my soul card in this lifetime is the Emperor. You can look it up if you have the book. If you want to know what the book is, that the other book I used, just leave me a message, and when I get home, I'll show you the book. The key words of this tarot card, the Moon, are strange wisdom, uncertainty, exploration, internal shadows, confrontation, fantasy and reality, dreams, illusion, embracing inner wildness, cycles, growth and discovery, exploration, introspection, reflection, surrender, instinct, ferocity, freedom from convention, woke, distance, a higher view, higher perspective, not in relationship to comparing oneself to others, but finding what happens when you just go back a bit and look at something and maybe feel the thing that the person you're observing is feeling, and then from this perspective you can be compassionate and interested and maybe ask them questions. Well, what makes you think that's true? Because there's going to be a lot of that going on. What makes you think that's true? And then the person, if they're really awake and not woke, they might say, well, that is what I hear on NPR. And I go, okay. Do you trust that? That's enough of that. Okay. We've rediscovered ourselves, reclaimed our future, and now move forward, eager to pursue those remembered dreams. But as we slip into the shadows, our newfound starlight grows dim. Even if we know where we want to end up, sometimes the path can grow murky and we can get lost along the way. As the pale light of the moon strips the world of color and twists our grasp on reality, our most fantastical visions and deepest fears reveal themselves in the darkening shadows. We must rely on our intuition, our sense of wisdom and truth, to help us remember who we are. Okay. We must rely on our intuition, our sense of wisdom and truth, to help us remember who we are, to keep us from getting too caught up in what ifs. The mind's perceptions become clouded by the heart's fears, and as emotion takes over, we stumble, consider, work overtime to see clearly, even as we crave surrender, even as we long to just run free. We have so few opportunities to completely succumb to our wildness, to go feral, to allow instinct to take over, and in giving ourselves permission to explore this untamed part of ourselves, in honoring our impulses, in running barefoot through the forest and screaming at the sky, we make fierceness a part of our natural cycle. We acknowledge the need for release, fantasy, illumination. We recognize that tension and friction are not inherently bad things, but that discomfort can help us understand our own needs and desires with sharp, new clarity. Discomfort can help us understand our own needs and desires with sharp new clarity. This dance between dreams and reality, this odd and otherworldly exploration, this diving into our own subconscious and seeing what kinds of wildness dwell within us, are all part of the peculiar, abstract, cyclical strangeness of the moon. Fantasy can be as uncomfortable as it can be an uncomfortable world to inhabit. Sifting through our own fears and cravings, shadows and secrets, unknowns and uncertainties can be a jarring, off-putting experience. Yet when we allow ourselves to get lost in our own dreams, when we find beauty in the darkness, there can be such wonder to discover. There's essential medicine in exploring our own mysteries, in letting ourselves examine the truths that we are usually unwilling or afraid to acknowledge. And when we work with the moon, we give into those hidden impulses, discover where we end up when we surrender any sense of restraint, and dive into our own enchanting, intoxicating wildness. Have a day. now must go to the dentist.